God damn it, man. Ah, much better. Well, if you cannot have Marcelian, might as well be satisfied with a JPEG, but that's not important. What is important today is that the world first race has finished yesterday before the reset. I think it was about 2 to 4 hours before the reset, with Echo winning the goddamn thing. What a turnaround, because if I recall, around Sunday, with how Sylvanas was kind of dropping a little bit in HP, it kind of looked like she was going to die at reset, and obviously Limit would have probably taken the kill, since Limit did put up an amazing fight, really close to Echo, and props to Echo very much. Proud of you boys, good job, and goddamn, this raid was easy. For them. For me, I would probably not kill Sylvanas Cutting Edge, no matter how many years we got. It's not sad, it's fine. But in all fairness, it did end before the first reset, and it does feel like raids tend to be a little bit easier with each patch, which is not particularly that interesting as a viewer, because even though we've had, I think this might have been one of the best races to world first that we've ever had. The guilds were so close to each other. The fights were so neck and neck. You could never really tell who was going to take the kill. Then after all the guild changes coming up in 9.0, I am actually kind of happy that Echo won. Although I was kind of hoping for, you know, more competition from the other guilds as well. But I guess we might see this in the years to come, because I do feel as a viewer that the competition was a little bit tighter this time around. Although I kind of hoped that it would last at least one reset. Now, I understand that it can be, you know, tiresome, because, you know, the boys are raiding like pretty much the whole day for all of that time, probably cooped up in that, what is it, like a gaming house? I don't know what they filmed it in this time around, but I can understand that it's very taxing on the players, and longer raid races, I'd say, might not be the best for them, but it is entertaining for us. So I don't know if you guys are okay with it. I would like at least 1 or 2 resets to be put into the raid, like maybe 2 resets, because it felt like a lot of the bosses were not properly tuned. Well, Sylvanas did fall down, and I think Max released a tweet where he said that Sylvanas probably was one of the easiest cutting edge, or maybe is the easiest cutting edge we've had over all the time, because the difficulty in her mechanics can be basically beaten by gear, as opposed to, let's say, I don't know, as an example, Denathria, you had the mirrors that you kind of had to time, which didn't really have anything to do with gear, but mostly about skill, coordination, and communication, whereas most of Sylvanas' mechanics, most of them were like dodge this, soak that, stuff like that, so it wasn't particularly, I don't know. Personally, I like it when the stakes are a little bit higher, when the race can go on a little bit longer. I personally enjoyed the Jaina, but it does feel like the raid is easier this time around. And the first big wall was Painsmith, and Guardian was supposed to be like the big patchwork fight, and usually patchwork fights are the gear checks, are the DPS checks, and Guardian kind of fell pretty quickly. And even Sylvanas, if I'm not mistaken, Sylvanas kind of fell in what, 169 pulls, which is, I mean, it's a lot of pulls, but what, I think we had 300 for Jaina, if I recall, so that's it's a big difference. Plus Gahoon kind of fell after the first reset. Again, Sire fell after the first reset, so I don't know. Are you guys happy with this kind of stuff? I kind of like raids to be a little bit more difficult. I kind of want a few more walls to be put down there. And okay, I guess it's nice when certain mechanics can be beaten by having more gear, because if you can beat them in the first week of the raid, then what's the purpose of gearing ever? Obviously, the world first race boys are like on a whole different level when it comes to PvE, and they can like just get it with like the minimum amount of gear that you can get in like the first, what, 2-3 weeks of the patch, which is very amazing. But it would be nice to feel like, okay, getting multiple loot pieces, or well, let's say at least 1 or 2 resets of the mythic raid loot or eye level helps in getting that last boss down, because isn't this what RPGs are supposed to be about? Just that progression, just like, okay, I killed finally Kel'Thuzad, which is was kind of like a disappointing fight, I suppose. But let's say, oh my god, if we want to kill Sylvanas Mythic, we definitely need that kill to Zod loot. I kind of missed that kind of part, but obviously that is, of course, subjective when it comes to what is entertaining to watch in a world first race. But that was basically it. It ended pretty quickly, and this kind of feels like how Shadowlands as an expansion is. It will probably end pretty quickly. It does seem like 9.2 might be the last patch, and I don't know. I personally am I'm glad that in the span of esports, as far as esports go, this was a really cool race to world first. We had Echo, we had Limit, we had Method, we had BDGG, we had Pieces, and these are kind of like the top of the top, but there were obviously a lot of other guilds that were like fighting in, and they're still fighting right now, depending on when you watch the video, to get that cutting edge. And if we're going to believe like the top impression of the top raiders, Sylvanas might be one of the easier ones to get this time around, which, I mean, are we just gonna like just get it over with? Is that the theme of the expansion? I kind of hope not, but it does kind of feel like that's how it's going to be right now. And well, I hope you enjoyed the race to world first. It was definitely a blast for us to see as well. And even though Marcelian is not actually here, he is here in spirit. We did appreciate the fact that, I don't know, I guess it felt like a lot more people can tune in this time around, and it wasn't just like the 1 or 2 guilds that were always vying for it, although the Limit and Echo were pretty neck and neck, and the other ones were a little bit far behind. But it's awesome. It's awesome to see more and more people get into this. It's awesome to breathe this little bit of life into WoW, and I hope this kind of thing continues. I personally hope that we will have a race to world first where there's like around 2 resets. I know that's probably going to kill the players themselves because they're gonna have to work their butts off, but there are some downsides to the raid as well, and one particular one was the Sanctum of Domination, the shards, which were actually turned out to be a major part of the damage, and some people were even benched because they did not loot the respective shards. Some people had to switch characters to get the one that actually got the gear, and that kind of feels a little bit shitty. But then again, this is the competitive scene, right? This is what you need and what you want to get it, to go and get that kill. But what did you guys think about all of this fiasco? Obviously, there was a little bit of drama going around, as always, because we cannot have an event without a little bit of drama. But what did you guys think about the race to world first? Who did you root for, and who would you like to see win the 9.2 race? Hit the comment section down below. This is a little bit on the shorter side of things, but not a lot happened this week, so the most important thing kind of was the race to world first. The reset has been on. There's no new patch notes. I guess we're probably gonna see more next week, so stay tuned, you know, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And thank you, dear patrons, for supporting our channel and everything that we do. We do bring you guys, as much as we can, these WoW News episodes every Wednesday, as well as the TLFs Fridays, the guides on Sundays, and podcasts on Mondays. And if you want to make sure that you get all of these, make sure that the notification button is enabled. And if you want to support us a little bit more, maybe you like what we do, maybe you like our vibe, and you want to, you know, support a little bit more, the link to our Patreon page is down below. Obviously, it's not required, but we do definitely appreciate it, and we thank you. Enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. Take care.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classical retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.